Oh, you mean since you use my face for punching bag?
I make decisions.
About what?
Life.
Yours or mine?
Mine, if that's all right with you.
I thought I was a part of your life.
Maybe you are, maybe you're not. That's not the question. The question is, what am I doing with my life? Who's gonna notice if I staple something vertical or horizontal, or on my more madcap days, diagonal? And after a while, I realized that's what I'm missing.
Staples.
Opportunity. The chance to take a chance.
I'm a chance.
By myself. For myself. So, Nelson's looking for someone to take over Dagmar's column while she's on vacation.
Who is Dagmar?
Dagmar, the answer lady, you know. Dear Dagmar.
Are they still doing that drivel?
People write in with their problems, I give them advice. Don't you think I can do it?
How about horoscopes? Why don't I talk to Nelson about horoscopes? You like to do horoscopes?
I'm gonna pick up my first day's letters. Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Sure. You got your own little personal rooting section here. Pom-poms and cheers. Oh, what? What are you doing? What is this? What? Oh, pollen season, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, hay fever city, huh? Hell, isn't it?
Get out of here.
Back off, will you? Can't you see the kid's upset here?
Yeah, I'll hold, but don't put that music on. What did you do to him?
I didn't do anything. I was just talking to him. He just caved in on me.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
It's okay. It's okay, Charlie. You're all right. That's the important thing. You want a glass of water? Huh? No? What, you want to talk? Okay. All right, what is it, kid? But just try to hold it together, okay?
I'm sorry. My mom's kind of high-strung, and my brother's in Lebanon, and my little sister's got this big spelling bee coming up.
The point, kid.
And my grandma lives in Connecticut.
You want to get to the point?
I'm really worried about Ginger, and I don't know what to do about her.
Oh, I bet she's a cute little redhead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's been kind of looking a little mangy. She got these ticks, and then there was that bladder infection, and then they had to put this pin in her hip. And
she got any sisters?
so I've been wheeling around in this little cart, but I think it makes her self-conscious.
Wait a minute. We're talking about a dog here.
I think she's gonna die, sir.
Look, kid, when a dog dies, I mean, it's kind of like...
Listen to me, Charlie. Can you hear me? Your dog is not going to die, okay?
She isn't?
No, she's not. And I'll tell you why. You ever hear of the 52 Yankees? This is a team that was in trouble all year long. This is right after DiMaggio retired, and Brown and Morgan and Coleman were headed for Korea, and Rashi and Mantle were playing injured, and the Cleveland Indians were breathing right down their necks all season long. Everybody thought it was just a matter of time till they caught them. That's what everybody said. Everybody except one person, the little guy named Casey Stengel. You know what he said? He said, I always heard it couldn't be done. But sometimes it don't always work. Now, nobody understood him, except maybe guys like Mr. Kruger here. But you know what happened?
Stengel died.
Yeah, Stengel died eventually. But the Yankees won the pennant that year. Well, you ever hear the '86 Mets? How about the sixth game of the World Series? Remember that little ground ball to Billy, or the Dodgers of '55?
You're saying there's a chance Ginger will get better?
That's it. You can take it to the bank.
Well, thank you, Mr. Maxwell. I knew I could count on you.
Okay, son.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna call her now. My mom says she kind of misses me during the day.
Good. You call her, make that little tail wag again, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks again.
Okay.
Thanks a million.
Okay.
That was a crummy thing to do.
What?
His mother's shaking paws with the Reaper, and you're singing Technicolor?
Oh, listen to Mr. Gloom and Doom. Excuse me for giving the kid a ray of hope.
You guaranteed him his dog is never gonna die.
I never said he would never die.
Well, he better not. Because of you, he's carrying all his slips in the same pail.
I spoke to Ginger.
Ah. And everything okay?
Well, she still doesn't sound too good. But I'm sure she's gonna be fine, just like you said. Maybe you'd like to talk to her, sir. I think it might really help. Maybe you could tell her about the Yankees and the Dodgers. She'd really like that. She's online, too.
Yo!
A&E will be right back with Dabney Coleman in Slap Maxwell.
Every time she gets upset, she goes on a food binge.
I say it's an art form. The way she chews, those jaw muscles, the control.
Of course, it don't hurt my profits none, because unlike yourself, she pays as she goes.
Dutch, I need a refill on the French fries. Make it the onion rings. Oh, hell, give me some of both.
Why don't you try throwing down a handful of these while you're waiting? Keep the old engine primed.
Set them down. Got any Fritos on you?
Well, I got a case of beer nuts out in the car.
Get them in here.
What seems to be the trouble, Sundance?
All these people, all these lives.
Just a bunch of letters.
Huh, that's what I thought. I gotta answer them.
Well, how tough can that be? It's just like talk, except on paper. You can talk. For instance, why don't you just pretend like I'm this person? You have to answer me, okay?
Slap, I'd really like you to stay out of this, okay?
Dear Dagmar, I am the mother of a 16-year-old boy, but the other day I found a marijuana cigarette on the floor of our car. I confronted Toby, cute, and he says it must have fallen out of somebody's pocket. What should I do?
I think I'd say that I think that trust is an essential part of any healthy relationship.
A kid's a liar. Gets caught one more time, he goes to prison.
It's all so easy for you, isn't it? Like stomping on an ant colony.
You saying I'm insensitive? Honey, if it weren't for me, cockfighting would still be illegal in this state.
Yeah, just make a joke of everything.
You're looking at a man who wept openly at Richard Nixon's resignation.
I'm gonna do this alone, Slap.
Well, I wish you were as easy to figure out as these nincompoops.
Could you leave, Slap?
Well, you know my address. In case things get tough.
Good night, Slap.
Judy, what are you doing? I figured you'd be at the office. You all alone? Just sitting there solving the problems of the world, huh? Well, I gotta hand it to you. That's dedication. Admirable quality. The point? Well, as a matter of fact, I was just about to take my pants off, and I was wondering if... Hello. Yellow. Nelson.
What the hell do you want, Slap?
I just got back from a late movie. Thought I'd check in.
You don't usually check in with me, Slap.
Well, new policy.
Good. My family will be thrilled.
Cobra.
What?
Cobra. I saw Cobra, you know, with Sylvester Stallone. You see it?
Missed it.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's just a Bridget thing or what, but that guy looks depressed to me.
What do you want, Slap?
Well, let me ask you something, pal, and be candid, okay? Have I been acting a little differently lately?
Yes. Good night, Slap.
Hold it. I'll tell you why I asked, because I'm thinking seriously about seeing somebody, and I'm beginning to get the feeling I'm irritating certain people.
You don't have to see anybody. You hit the nail right on the head.
Thanks, pal. Oh, Mrs. Wilson? This is Slap Maxwell at the paper. Yes, is Charlie home? Hey.
Hey, Mr. Maxwell. What are you doing here?
Oh, I just happened to be talking to your mother, and she mentioned Ginger in there. Yeah. This is nice. Clean.
Thanks for coming, sir.
Yeah, sure. Not that you needed it. Oh, listen, you know, I was reading one of those veterinary magazines about the amazing progress that they've made on whatever it is your dog has and how they can, even if they can't, I mean, there's always the big fella upstairs, right?
Yeah, I've been talking to him a lot tonight.
Good, yeah. He is the chief. Sitting up there, throwing those miracles down from time to time.
I guess we better be going.
No enough to go. It's a shame for the evening. We don't want to abandon the old hound at this point. When did she die?
A little while ago.
I had a dog once. Well, wasn't really mine, but when I was 10 years old, I already knew what my future was. I loved the St. Louis Browns. I just lived and died for that team.
I'm sorry, sir, but I really don't feel like hearing another sports story right now.
Well, but see, I had a little problem because I knew they were going to need a shortstop someday, and I knew that I wasn't fast enough because I had these little runt legs that came up to about my knees. And so every night that summer, I used to go over the VFW ballpark and run the bases. I mean, every night, rain or shine. And one night I went over there and got ready to run. And I looked over and there was about the ugliest mutt you can possibly imagine, standing by home plate, just guarding it. And I was a little scared, but I said, I'm just gonna take off anyway and see what happens. So I did. And sure enough, he started after me. And I kept running around the bases, and he'd get a little closer and a little closer, and I went faster and faster and faster. And finally, I realized that's about as fast as I ever run in my life. And so the next night I came back, there he was. We did the same thing. Night after that, next night, the next night. In fact, it was just every night that summer. I never took him home. Even though I thought about that, how nice it would be to have him, at home when I got back from school, or, tagging along with me when I'm doing my paper route or something. Never even named him. Didn't seem right somehow, but he was my dog. And the Wednesday night before Labor Day, I went over to the field and I started running, and I realized I'd run around the bases a couple of times and I didn't feel that little breath on my ankles. And I looked back and he was there, but he was lagging back. He was, dogging it. And I thought, well, he's pulling a trick of some kind. Didn't think much about it. And the next night, went over again. He was there, and he didn't run at all. He just sat by the sidelines and watched me. Then a couple of nights after that, went over the field and he wasn't there. So I started looking all over for him, and finally, under the bleachers, there he was, lying down, very still, just looking up at me. So I just sat down next to him all night long. And just before dawn, he let out, this one last little gasp, took a little nip at my ankle. And then buried him on the baseball field.
But he was happier because he known you.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, he was dead. How happy could he be?
You got over him, right?
Never. Let's go, kid. Let's go.
I think I'm gonna stay a little while, if you don't mind.
You sure?
Yeah. I bet he liked that. Being married on the baseball field. That was nice.
What?
Morning.
I must have dozed off. Is it noon already?
How about 5:30 a.m.?
Well, what are you doing here?
Late night on the town. Just thought I'd get an early start. You been working on that all night long?
When I wasn't eating my way through the phone book. Do you know there's a 24-hour Scandinavian place that delivers little Swedish pancakes with lingonberry sauce?
Ooh, wish I'd known.
Well, I've got just about enough time to get to the diner, scarf down a few omelets, and then get to bed for a quick nap.
Ooh.
No, thanks.
Now, what can I do to you halfway across town?
Thanks.
Unless...
Good night.
Good night. Piece of cake.
A&E will be right back with Slap Maxwell.
It's alive. It's alive. Ugly, creeping mildew. Spray on Tilex Instant Mildew Stain Remover and mildew stains vanish with no scrubbing. Try Tilex. Get your bath laboratory clean.
Next on A&E, a portrait of that ever-living babe from the Baltimore waterfronts to Yankee Stadium, Babe Ruth on Biography.